Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Moving Right Along, a Muppet movie podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. This is the podcast where we watch Muppets From Space, 2 minutes at a time, and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Anthony Strand.
And I'm your other host, Ryan Rowe.
And today we are joined by one of our Tough Pig pals, a past and future guest, back again. Guest, who are you?
People of the world, mice up your life. It's Katilyn, aka Sporty Spice of the Tough Pig staff, here to remind all the listeners out there to high kick your way into some girl power. If it's not obvious, I spent 95% of my prep time watching Spice Girls videos to remind me of just how bonkers the late 90s were.
I
Awesome.
love that.
Love that.
I was going to get into this later, but I have recently been going through a Spice Girls phase.
Yes!
Ryan is micing up his life.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, some of those videos, you just think like, man, they had such high budgets for music videos back then.
Oh my goodness, yes. Especially for, the highest selling girl group of all time.
Right, obviously. They could spend however much they wanted. So
And all their music was like word salad if you look at the lyrics.
Right. Well, I mean, I really, really would want to zig a zag ah. Like nobody knew what that meant.
Still don't. And there's one video where they're actually in like a spaceship and they make a reference to a tribal spaceman, so it totally fits with what we're here to talk about today.
Perfect.
Well,
perfect.
and it actually, I mean, you both know this, but maybe the audience doesn't. There is a Spice Girls reference later in these 2 minutes, which are minutes 7 and 8 of Muppets from Space, in which Brick House concludes and the Muppets eat breakfast. So before we get to the Mice Girls, we start where we left off with Kermit in line for the bathroom, tapping his foot to Brick House.
Which I know some people are a little weirded out by Muppet feet, but I think this one should be okay for them. Because it's just, Kermit's flipper. And then we've got Salmonella's feet, I think.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then
Sal's right behind him.
Link wearing clogs.
I wonder if people would be less weirded out to just see a Muppet's foot rather than seeing the entire Muppet, including their feet and their legs.
So you think this close-up is more acceptable than
maybe
Kermit's
to people
dancing?
who do find it weird? But again, it reminds me like they had to figure out how to do this because Kermit is a puppet. He doesn't tap his feet on his own like a real live actor does. So they had to decide, what kind of what kind of mechanism to use if there's just a disembodied Kermit leg that a puppeteer is tapping on the floor.
Well, I don't know how much you guys have already talked about the whole song sequence, but I feel like it is just one gigantic spectacle of, like what they would do with the mice in Muppets Take Manhattan and in Muppets Christmas Carol. It's like, what can we do with puppets?
Yeah.
How can we make people forget that they're puppets? And then ask when they remember later, like, oh, how did they do that with puppets?
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple of those in these minutes, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is one. It's very simple, but his flipper is moving up and down, apparently on its own. Like, so like you say, Ryan, he can't do that.
Exactly.
What?
Speaking of Kermit's feet, he pretty clearly only has 4 toes on each flipper in this shot. So, contrary to the song Happy Feet, which claims that he's got those 10 little tapping toes.
Oh.
Pretty clearly has 8 here.
How many toes do frogs actually have?
Good question. How many toes does a frog have?
It's a race to see who can Google it faster.
Did you guys ever read Tacky the Penguin?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I thought you maybe had.
I have dressed as Tacky the Penguin.
That sounds right. Then you probably remember that Tacky's signature song is How Many Toes Does a Fish Have? Which is in the same family.
Sorry, who is Tacky the Penguin?
Okay, Ryan, he has 5 companions. Goodly, lovely, angel, neatly, and perfect. They all walk in a straight line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But Tacky walks 1, 2, 3, 0, 2, 4, 0, 2.5, 6, 0, or something.
Okay, now I know who Tacky the Penguin is. That perfectly explains it.
It is a book by
Helen Lester
and art by Lynn Munsinger.
Okay.
Munsinger. Yeah.
Cool.
Great book. I read it to my
So
students every year.
how many wings are on a cow, Anthony?
Oh, right. That's the next line. But the reason is when I started Googling how many toes does a frog have, I got how many toes does a fish have
Oh, nice.
in my head, the way I sing it to my students when I read it. Oh, man.
So you're talking to two librarians here.
That's right.
That's the thing. I'm not up on, children's literature, so.
Yeah, that book's from the 90s.
Oh, okay. Well,
Maybe early 2000s.
I'm just that far behind.
Let's see.
There is a sequel while you're looking, called Three Cheers for Tacky,
There
where they
are-
all
Sorry,
Yes.
there are many sequels, but three cheers for Tacky. Go on.
okay, where they have to get Tacky to do a cheer in sequence with the other penguins, and it's, as you can imagine, it goes terribly for Tacky.
So Tacky has trouble with number sequences.
Well, he's just an odd bird.
Oh,
A
okay.
nice
He
bird
wears
to have around.
he is a
Okay.
penguin who wears a Hawaiian shirt,
Hmm.
which, as you can imagine, might be a
Yes.
little tacky.
Yes, I see.
The others just wear the tuxedos. They just wear regular
Of
penguin
course, right.
feathers.
Did we find out how many toes a frog has?
Yes, according to the exploratorium.edu 4.
Okay, good.
Tacky also goes in the Winter Games, where he makes quite a mess of every event.
Oh,
my-
Tacky.
That's my favorite Tacky sequel.
Wow.
Oh man, it's a whole universe to explore, right? And
Okay, I'm gonna go to my library.
you gotta do it. You gotta do it. But what else happens here? Then after in this movie, there are penguins in it, not Tacky.
I know. That's why I think, you guys might have given this to me for the penguins, or maybe it's because you knew that I grew up in a house with one bathroom and too many people for a septic system. Like,
Oh.
I did not.
this is very reminiscent of my childhood.
Oh, you're welcome, I guess. I don't know. But we go in. Speaking of too many people in the bathroom, we cut back inside the bathroom where we see Pepe blow drying his hair, and then we continue Animal's story by seeing him rev up some sort of leaf blower.
Yeah,
to blow
why
dry his
is
hair.
that animal's hair dryer? I guess it's just funny.
Why
It's just
wouldn't
fun.
it be?
It's just silly, yeah.
It's
Yeah, he's-
extreme.
That's the thing, like the X Games.
Yes.
And
Which is also very, wait, are those pins from the 90s when they did the Winter Games? Was that 90? When was that? When they did
when they did the X Games pins thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say 2002.
Well, now we got to look.
Yeah, no, we gotta look that up.
And Animal, this is not the X Games, but he was the mascot for the U.S. Olympic snowboarding team, I believe, in 1998.
Oh,
Okay, that's what I was thinking
that's
of.
what
Was
that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
Katilyn's thinking of. All right.
So there we go, 98. This is all, it's all coming together. The 90s. The 90s
this
are
is-
happening now.
They're happening right now. And so he revs up the leaf blower. He screams. It keeps building power until it blows him out of the room. And he flies over the railing onto the first floor of the house, where he lands feet up at the breakfast table. So he whizzes past Kermit and Link in the first shot. Speaking of Link, Muppet sci-fi legend Link Hogthrob.
Yeah.
This is his first appearance in this movie. One of his only appearances.
Yeah.
And he looks disheveled. He's got bedhead. His
He hasn't-
eyebrows are.
Yeah, he
are
just
not-
woke up, so.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten in the bathroom yet.
Exactly. He's not perfectly coiffed.
Right.
Right.
Is this his first movie? He wasn't in either of the storybook movies at all, was he?
He briefly appears in Muppet Treasure Island when
Oh.
he's beating the gong when Kermit says old girlfriend.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not his triumphant return to the screen.
No.
It's
I mean,
just-
it
it's
is.
just-
Like, every time the Muppets make a movie, it's their triumphant return to the screen.
right. But so Animal lands, we see his feet go up, and then we cut to, here it is, it's happening. Rizzo is working out in his room.
Well,
presumably.
I do want to just very briefly mention, we questioned whether Beauregard lives in this house. You can very briefly see Beauregard at the breakfast table. So
Oh, you're right. So
just to
he's there.
confirm, yeah, he lives here with all the other Muppets. He's in this.
He is-
Yeah, and
he's
he'll
one of
be
the
in-
residents.
Later bits of this 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. We see
Yeah,
him around.
but he's there. So, okay, continue.
Rizzo is working out with a mousetrap. He is lifting the
The metal thingy.
Doing bench presses.
He's doing bench presses with
Yes.
the metal device on a traditional old-fashioned mousetrap.
It's very clever.
It is. We can
With his jacket to the side that says Cheese Whiz.
It
The
says
Cheese Whiz cast and crew.
So it says the Cheese Whiz cast and crew. That is the jacket that he wears in Muppet Classic Theater, correct, Ryan? Isn't that what we discovered?
Oh, is that the
in
same
that
one? I
episode?
don't remember.
Yeah.
Because I know on Muppets Tonight, most of the time I think he wore a crew jacket that said the Ratty Duke Show.
Right.
So I was trying to remember, if this was one that we had seen before.
I believe it is the same one from Muppet Classic Theater, because I know we've discussed it on the podcast.
Okay, cool.
And while he's doing this, he is, looking up at a poster of the Mice Girls.
Yeah.
And he says, I do it all for you, ladies, before it snaps down on his neck, murdering him. Rizzo is dead now.
That's it. That's it for Rizzo.
In a Muppet movie?
I thought this was supposed to be a kid's movie. So before we get to the actual Spice Girls, though, I want to ask you both, is it weird that he's talking to a poster like wouldn't it be weird if a human man was looking at a poster of the Spice Girls and saying, I do it for you, ladies?
You mean if an adult, if a grown man was doing that?
Yeah, such as Rizzo apparently is.
Well, I guess so. Yes, now that you mention it, it would. I could see a teenager doing this for sure, addressing a poster that way. I guess it's kind of a sitcom-y joke. It's something you might expect to see in a sitcom, a character, a grown man addressing a poster that way.
Well, right. He has to say it out loud, or else the audience will never know what he's thinking.
True.
Yeah.
Also, for whatever reason, Ryan, when you said it was a sitcom-y joke, I immediately imagined JT from Step by Step saying it.
Okay,
and that scanned perfectly.
Sure.
That's like when he said a teenage boy.
Yeah, I was trying to come up with an example, but that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be the one, I think.
Yeah. Maybe like Eddie on Family Matters too.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, TGIF, teenage boy.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
that caliber of sitcom.
All very 90s. This is tracking.
Oh yeah, right.
Sean Hunter maybe, but definitely not Corey Matthews.
You guys read your teen beats, didn't you?
We sure did. I was more of a YM guy.
Yeah.
But now we can actually get to the Spice Girls. There's only 4 Mice Girls on the poster because Katilyn, you say it. You tell why.
Oh, I have no idea. Because there's only 4 letters in the word mice?
No, because this is historically accurate. Because at the time of this movie, Ginger Spice had quit the group.
Yeah, she had famously left in 98.
Yeah, the Spice Girls are best known for having 5 members, but there were only 4 of them at this time.
That's true, but the iconic poster that they are recreating, it has all 5 members.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't make any sense that he's just like, fine, I guess there's only 4 of you now. I'll do it for the 4. Where's the...
Got to get a new poster.
I think he did. I think Rizzo went to Walmart in the poster section and bought a new Mice Girls poster. After Ginger Mouse. Ginger Mice. Yeah. So I do have to...
Do you guys all know the 5 spices of the Spice Girls?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Scary Baby, Ginger, Posh, and Sporty.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? This is better than I expected. I mean, after Ryan said at the top of the episode that he'd been listening to the Spice Girls, I didn't doubt him. But
yeah, I mean, I was in middle school for their heyday.
Yeah. Well, so I wanted to ask you both, who's your favorite Spice Girl? Because mine is and has always been Posh.
Oh,
interesting.
I've been told that's like a very obvious pedestrian choice, but I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Sporty does backflips in their videos.
Yes.
That was a requirement,
There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, but that's why she's the best one.
Okay.
I too was a Sporty Spice. So
that makes sense. You set it up top.
Yeah.
When I was in 9th grade, a 6th grader sang "To Become One" at the school talent show.
Nice.
And it was very uncomfortable for everyone. I think the adults didn't realize the subtext or the tone of "To Become One."
Really?
Really?
I don't know. I wasn't an adult at the time.
Yeah.
But that's certainly something I remember from that time.
Well, I recently rewatched Spice World, which is very hard to find. My wife Stacy had to. So Stacy is very into thrifting over the past year, and she asked if there was anything she should look for like on DVD, and I said, "Oh, I don't know. It'd be fun to rewatch Spice World," and you cannot find that anywhere, not even at a thrift store. So she eventually bought a VHS tape on eBay that we watched,
Yeah.
and that's a very fun movie. And Posh is the funniest Spice Girl in that movie, I think.
You know, I've never seen it. I've never
Oh,
seen the
well,
movie.
come on over. We'll watch my VHS tape.
I would love to come watch Space World on VHS.
Do it.
Richard E. Grant, right? Isn't he in that?
Yes, he is. Yep.
Right? You'll love to see him.
I think this is the perfect would be the perfect capstone. You should do a bonus episode at the end of the season.
Our watch along. Yeah.
Of Spice World. Yeah, that movie with such connections to the Muppets.
I'm sure we could find a
You'll
few.
find something. Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, before we move on from just this specific frame, right next to the Mice Girls poster is a picture of a rat in like they're wearing like a flower lei, and then they're in some tropical locale. Do we think this is from the Pirate Cruise?
So this I didn't look to see if it's still there, but last I knew this rat was very familiar to me. Because last I knew this exact picture was on Muppet Wiki as the character Mr. Plagueman from Muppet Treasure Island.
Oh, that
And
makes sense.
the reason I know that and that I recognize this is because when I lived with our friend Joe, we had a Muppet Treasure Island themed bathroom. And we printed out that picture of Mr. Plagueman and framed it and hung it on the wall in our bathroom. So I used to see this picture every single day on the wall of the bathroom.
It's one of Rizzo's most dedicated clients.
And you
Yeah.
did some bench presses and said that you were doing it for Mr.
Yes,
Plagueman.
on the bench press that we had in our New York City
Your
apartment bathroom. Yes.
Yes, but
That's what happened.
it was Muppet Treasure Island themed. So instead of weights, it just had spam on both sides.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's what happened. But other things happened. We're like a quarter of the way into this thing. We cut back to the bathroom once again, where we find Sweetums in the bathtub, taking a bath. It's very sudsy. What's he doing? He's pulling penguins out of the suds and scrubbing them with a brush.
Yeah, I guess you're supposed to think for a second that he might be like about to harm the penguin, but then he just scrubs it. He's just helping the penguin get clean. That's fun.
Pretty fun. Clean those penguins. Sweetums.
Yeah, keep your penguins clean.
That's one of his jobs, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, you got to work really hard because usually the water just, slips right off their back. They've got those feathers with the
Oh,
slick
yeah.
stuff. So
That's right. And then they keep slapping you on the back and saying, "What's happening?"
another tacky reference, Ryan.
That's what
Sorry.
Tacky does.
I
Ryan.
assumed
Ryan,
as
that's what
much.
Tacky does.
I assumed as much.
Kermit, then we see Kermit again. We are now back downstairs. Kermit is grooving on down the stairs to the breakfast table. And on the way, he passes Pepe carrying 2 big stacks of napkins in 2 of his hands and salt and pepper shakers in his other 2 hands.
That's a very funny visual. I like that.
It is. Well, I like how he's holding the napkin stacks out like he's balancing them. I don't know.
One way in front of him,
Yeah.
one way behind him. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the detail, like I don't know if it came over in the opening credits, but the set design is just incredible. So anyone who thinks that they didn't put as much effort into Muppets from Space in terms of their details as they did into like the period pieces, Victorian England and a pirate ship, like that's nonsense. Like this house is a character all itself. It's not a brick house though. So that's a little weird.
Technically,
But
it's not.
like there are so many details in this, and if I don't point them out, like just know that I have appreciated them. Like when we were watching the Tale of the Bunny Picnic, I just wanted to like pause every second of that to look at the details. And it's just so much details in this too. Like the paintings on the walls, the wallpaper, the dishes. Like there's a few other things I'm going to point out later, but yeah, Rolf's in the background with silverware. Like, is everything Muppet size? This is incredible.
Yeah, I liked that.
Yeah.
We don't get a lot of Ralph in this movie, but yeah, he's just dancing along to the music with that silverware in his hands.
Love that.
Yeah.
We should note the production designer is Stephen Marsh and the art director is Alan J. Cassie. So
Okay.
we will
Kudos to them.
discuss.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know Stephen Marsh doesn't even have a Muppet Wiki page, so might be his only Muppet credit.
Yeah.
And it looks like Alan J. Cassidy did work on Christmas Carol and Treasure Island, and this and Elmo and Grouchland.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
A lot of people did.
That tracks.
Yeah. Yeah, right, because they were both shot in Wilmington.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we see Rolf with the silverware. Animal then gets up and shakes his head after his fall. We see Animal shake out his head to reorient himself. And then we see a series of Muppets in the bathroom, and it's almost like the camera is the mirror, and we are looking out at these Muppets from behind the mirror.
Right.
Voyeuristic of us to be
It is,
spying
yeah.
on me like that.
It's true. And these include the entire Electric Mayhem, except for Animal, who are just kind of brushing,
They're brushing their teeth.
Floyd seems to be brushing his hair, I think.
Oh, I didn't notice. Okay.
Yeah.
He like brushing hair back or something.
Does imply that they all have teeth when I don't think any of them do.
We can't see them.
Well,
Like Zoot-
Well, Dr. Tooth does.
Teeth has
Dr.
teeth.
Tooth.
Dr.
But like
Tooth.
Zoot has a full mouth of paste. And it's,
Yeah, and there's nothing. There's
nothing
nothing in his mouth. Yeah. Then we got Bunsen and Beaker, and eyeless Bunsen cleaning his glasses. which
That's
is
always
fun.
funny when you.
His glasses off his head, cleaning them.
Yep.
and the Q-tip through Beaker's head.
Right, exactly.
Which is an extremely large Q-tip because it had to fit all the way through Beaker's head.
Yeah, maybe Bunsen made it at the lab just for him.
Probably. Yeah.
Did you see what is on Beaker's pajamas?
I did not notice.
I
think
couldn't make it out. Is it tools?
There's saws,
Yeah,
like hand
okay.
saws. And I
Yeah.
can't, which seems a little ominous.
Yeah, I don't know why. You would think
He's
it would
going to
be
get
like
injured.
flasks and beakers and stuff. But
Yeah, that's true. And then we see New Zealand and a boomerang fish dancing very excitedly, which is adorable.
yes, that's great.
And then we get the star of this movie, Carson the Butler, putting his
Carter.
dentures in.
Harder.
What did I say? Did I say Carson
Said Carson.
from Downton Abbey?
Oh, that's why.
What if it was him? What
It
if
should be.
But that actor's name is Jim Carter. So
Whoa.
anyways, okay.
It's all in your brain.
He should have played Howard Tubman's butler. I would like those sketches more.
And
Anyways,
Jimmy Carter was the president when the Muppet Show was on TV.
that's true. So Carter, the star of this movie, whose name I definitely remembered. I did not get him confused with any other butlers from television. He is putting his dentures in because he's old,
Yeah.
and his head is shaking as he's trying to put his dentures in. So then we cut down to the living room where Sam the Eagle is running a fitness class for chickens. Now, why?
I mean, what I wrote is, how did they come up with this? But
Is it just-
I don't dislike it. I think it's
No,
funny. Yeah.
it's a fun visual. Is it just because he's a bird?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I couldn't decide if it was so calisthenics to me scream like 80s Jane Fonda. But
Oh,
this
yeah.
seems more militaristic
Well,
because he's telling them to suck in their guts, but not guts. He says tummies, I think. And then
right.
he's also like emblazoned with his stars and stripes and Lady Liberty. Like this is full Sam Americanism. And so it's almost as if he's running them through their 5 a.m. calisthenics. Which
Yeah.
I feel like there was a big, what was it, like an army of one or be all that you could be. Like, the army was really doing PSAs on TV.
With like training sessions out in the muck or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you mean? Yeah. And Statler and Waldorf are just sitting there watching this
Yeah.
class.
They're not going to get up and exercise.
But they
No.
do, though. Like
They
later,
do? Later?
yeah, like 2 seconds later, they cut back to the chickens and Statler and Waldorf are also up.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I thought they were
Shitty.
just dancing to the music, but wow. Okay.
And I mean, that is a form of movement, I suppose.
True. True.
Meanwhile, at the top of the stairs, Sal, a cow, and a chicken each strike a dramatic pose.
In time to the music.
It's great.
Yeah.
And then various people play the song on household objects as though they were members of Stomp.
Yes. I like Animal playing the cow's cowbell with his silverware.
Silverware, yep. And then the Swedish chef is playing on the side of a bowl. He has some other friends with him, including Chip and Bean Bunny, who I
Yeah.
don't think we see before this.
Chip
Either
is
one
in
of
this
them.
movie.
Yeah, Chip. You can hear Ryan's thoughtful exploration of Chip on a recent episode of 70 Years, 70 Muppets, our other
True.
podcast feed. We should mention everybody who hosted all the episodes. You can hear Katie Lynn's thoughtful exploration of Penguin.
Yes.
On the
If you want to, yes, if you want to know my deep and abiding love for penguins, listen to the Nikki Napoleon episode.
It's a great app.
It's a fun
great
one,
app.
yeah.
I loved it. Yeah, then we see Carter again. I wrote it down right this time. Carter on the stairs. And then there are just a bunch of random shots of Muppets grooving to the music here. And I think this is where we see Statler and Waldorf dancing, like you mentioned. But including a talking moose mounted on the wall who sings along.
Right. When all the Muppets say brick, he goes house.
It is just like a whole game of Spot the Muppet, as if they took the viewers' reactions. Like it took too long to get to Kermit and Piggy in Muppet Christmas Carol and in Muppet Treasure Island. They're like, fine, okay, well, let's establish Gonzo, check. Existential Crisis, check. Rizzo, check. Now, here are the rest of the Muppets.
They're
so
all here.
They're all here within, the first 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. They're just having fun. And Kermit also agrees because then at the end of the song, he says, that was fun. Way to get down with your bad selves.
Which is also
That's
a
what he
90s,
says.
a 90s trend of awkwardly trying to sound cool and not just failing miserably.
Yeah, right.
Now, I have a question because I have not seen a full episode of Muppets Tonight. I have only ever seen clips. So is this the type of performance that they would do where it would just be like a song and then the Muppets do Muppets to it? Or were they...
They rarely do full production numbers on that show. It is very common that there will be a song on stage and it is cutting backstage to show Clifford freaking out instead of watching the whole song. That is much more common.
They apparently, or somebody involved in the show didn't trust American view, or the viewing audience to sit through an entire production number. So yeah, that's usually how it goes as it cuts back. But then they did some of those more music video style numbers, like the Once in a Lifetime with Kermit that everybody has seen on the internet, where that in that one they let the entire song play out. There are a few more like that too.
Yeah, but not as many as there should have been, in my opinion.
No, yeah.
But yeah, they don't do this kind of stuff. I mean, they're not like cutting around the studio.
No, not really.
Whatever,
So, but were they like actually singing the songs as opposed to like here they're just...
Oh, yeah. They're saying the songs.
To the
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they didn't do this lip sync thing. I mean, they would all be like hanging out with the guest star sometimes, while just like Garth Brooks sings "We Shall Be Free" or whatever. I don't think the Muppets, they sing backup on that, but they don't.
Right.
They mostly just stand around while Garth sings it.
I was just kind of trying to understand how we got to this point because obviously the Muppets are singing in Muppet Treasure Island and Muppet Christmas Carol and every Muppet movie from before, and then this one is the first one that they're mostly using not original music. The Muppets aren't performing, but Kermit actually is acknowledging that there was a song happening and that they were dancing to it.
Right. Well, just in general, this time period in family movies, singing was considered to be embarrassing.
Musicals were not cool.
It's cringe.
Right. I mean, like this is 99. So this is the same year as Disney's Tarzan, a movie that has very little singing from the characters. It's largely just Phil Collins songs.
Yeah, it's an entire soundtrack.
While the characters do things.
Right, yeah.
And shortly after that, the next few years, Disney's going to put out
Treasure Planet,
Atlantis, The Lost Empire, Brother Bear has another one with like original songs by Phil Collins. It's some sung by others.
Yeah.
Tina Turner sings the opening song of Brother Bear, and we never talk about it. I mean, there was just this thing where people thought kids hated musicals for this period of time,
which is weird.
And then, of course, DreamWorks is just getting started.
Yeah.
They had just done Prince of Egypt, which is a musical, but like pretty soon they're going to do Shrek.
I think
Shrek
2 years
later
Shrek is after this, right?
Shrek is 2001.
But I do think that sort of scared Disney away from doing their traditional Disney fairy tale musical thing for a few more years.
And of course, Pixar was starting to happen.
Right. And yeah.
Toy Story is another one where the character
Yeah, yeah.
there's three songs in Toy Story, but they're all just Randy Newman singing.
You can have songs playing on the soundtrack that resonate with what's happening, but yeah, the characters are not
Right.
singing.
To this day, Pixar has never really produced a musical unless you count Coco.
Yeah, which I don't think I would.
You know, a movie that basically has two songs in it.
But aren't they both pretty much presented as just like, now it's time for me to do a musical performance?
Yes.
Yeah. They're not breaking out into song to express their emotions.
No. Right.
Yeah.
You guys are adding to your list of movies to watch of all the movies you've mentioned in this
Yeah.
podcast.
Way too many. Way too many.
It's too many. But yeah, so I do think it was just a trend at the time that
Yeah.
kids don't want to watch music, which was patently false.
Yeah.
Because children in 1999 were absolutely still watching The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast and
Right.
Aladdin. You know,
Right.
like it wasn't like those movies dropped off in popularity.
They were watching them over and over again on
Right.
VHS and DVD. Yeah.
So I don't know. So in conclusion, I don't know.
I don't know.
But then now all the Muppets are eating breakfast. They're chattering away. And of a special note here, Bunsen says, "Good morning, Rolf. Good morning, Baab." Well, who's Baab? Baab is the sheep that is sitting at the table. And Baab was performed by Christina Donnelly, an 11-year-old who had Ewing sarcoma. And her make-a-wish was to be in a Muppet movie.
Which is such a great wish.
Right. Or to work with the Muppets, I think is
Right,
what it
yeah.
was. And they happened to be filming this movie. And my understanding, according to Muppet Wiki, they offered her a choice of acting or puppeteering. And she chose puppeteering. So she plays Baab the Sheep in this scene. She got to keep the puppet.
Mm.
And she passed away on November 7th, 1999.
No.
Age
Aw.
11, 4 months after the movie came out. And it's just, I mean, obviously, like, that's not a fun thing that a little girl passed away, of course, but like, what a sweet thing that she got to do that and they made that happen for her.
Yeah, and I hope that her family is able to watch the movie and find joy in seeing her performance.
Yeah,
That's in a Muppet movie for all time now.
right.
And she's addressed by Bunsen Honeydew.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing. I love it. And according to the Muppet Wiki article about her, according to that, Steve Whitmire and Dave Goelz were the two that she spent the most time with.
Mm.
And so that makes sense that it's Dave who, it was, if I had to guess, Dave was like, I'm going to address Bob by name.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
is my
Yeah.
guess. So, anyways, yeah, there it is. I remember her mom. Do you remember this, Ryan? Christina Donnelly's mother used to post on the Muppet Central forum.
Yeah.
In the like pre-Tough Pigs days.
Yeah,
sometimes.
very early in the Muppet Central forum. Yeah.
Like shortly after this movie,
Right, yeah.
because that was where I first learned about it. You know,
Hmm.
pre Muppet Wiki. But there's a few more scenes here. Kermit says, "Good morning, everyone," and then we see Bean Bunny cheerfully carrying a plate of waffles with whipped cream. Piggy slams the door open, knocks him against the wall.
We love to
Classic.
see Bean get thrown around and smacked around. Yeah, good stuff.
It is classic.
Piggy says, "Hello, little people. What an absolutely splendid day." And then Bean, now covered in whipped cream, falls out from behind the door, which I think is such a well-staged gag.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think the timing is perfect.
It
Yeah.
is, as Piggy's entrances go, it's very low key, but it is still explosve, I guess we can say.
Sure.
Yeah, and I had never noticed the musical flourish that accompanies it when she opens the door, but they are trying to give her something by giving her a little musical theme, like here's Piggy.
Although, as we discussed last week, this is not her introduction.
It's
We
not
saw her in the
actually her,
bathroom.
yeah,
Right.
right.
We did see her getting ready. For this outfit, which is straight out of like Clueless or Romy and Michelle's high school reunion. Like this is the feathery top with the animal print skirt. Like it's just very 90s. Or even Phoebe from Friends. Like it would be very like another 90s style touchstone of the time.
Right.
Like this is definitely of the 90s. And that's
Yeah.
basically what I've been doing this whole 2 minutes. It's just like, that's 90s as heck. That's 90s as heck.
It's the 90s.
Yes. So I can't remember if Lisa Kudrow played Romy or Michelle.
I was trying to remember, but I don't know.
I was forgetting too. She's one of them.
I want to say she's Michelle, but I wouldn't bet money on it.
Which one is Alan Cumming?
I don't know his character's name.
Oh, okay.
He's the Great Gazoo.
It's true. He was Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Kermit, he was Floop. You ever see Spy Kids? That movie rules.
Oh yeah.
Kermit, meanwhile, doesn't look up from Kermit's reading the Hensonville Observer.
Yeah, nice.
Is the name of the newspaper, which is cute.
Which made me think of the Jim Henson birthday video that had Oscar, Gobo, and Kermit in it that we got last year. Because Kermit had a newspaper in that, but that one was the Muppet Daily.
Okay.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I just wanted to see like, oh, maybe there's a connection, but there's not.
That would have been great.
Also, Lisa Kudrow was Michelle. I looked it up, so.
Okay.
Nailed it, Ryan. Nice.
Nice.
So Kermit does not look up from the Hensonville Observer as he says, "How are you this morning, Piggy?" Which is very cold, I feel.
I mean, it's just like they've been living in this house for a while. I guess this is just very routine to them.
Yes. Do you think they got married in 1984 in this continuity?
I don't think so.
And now they just don't talk much?
Well, I guess that's possible.
And but Piggy says, "Oh, late." Her response to "How are you?" is, "Oh, late. I start my fabulous new job today. We megastar TV journalists have to be punctual, you know." And, the thing about plot exposition is that it certainly does have to go somewhere.
Yeah. But this is a fake out, really. This is false exposition.
Right, because she's not a megastar TV journalist.
Yeah, spoiler, we'll find out. But yes.
And Kermit Kermit sees through it from the first. He says, "TV journalist, since when are you a..." Piggy says, "Gotta run, bye-bye, kissy kissy. We will return to that later." That's pretty cool that Miss Piggy said kissy kissy like Danny Horn. That's kind of a nice tribute.
Well, so does Kermit see through it, or does he know that she should have a different does he know that she has a different job that she's going to, or does she have a different job completely?
I just read it as him being confused because she has not told him until now that she is supposedly a TV journalist.
Well, then what is she? Like, that's
like, what has she been doing? Yeah, I don't know.
That's my whole question about this beginning is just like, what is the premise here? Why are they all living together? Is this canonically in the Muppets Tonight situation?
I think we're not supposed to think about that too much.
Okay.
Yeah. Piggy does not seem to be a former star.
No, movie. It doesn't seem like this is a group of performers who put on a variety show.
No. She didn't star in Pigs in Space for 4 years in this universe.
Right.
No, this is just all a bunch of like working people in the business who need to share rent, and so they all
I guess so.
They all have to be roommates. I don't know.
Yeah. Share one bathroom. So as Piggy runs out, Statler says, "Is breakfast over?" Waldorf, "No, why?" Statler, "Because I think the bacon just ran out," which is not a bad joke.
No, that's a good joke for them.
I wrote, not bad, not their best.
Sure.
It's
really interesting to me that Jerry Nelson seems to have given up any attempt to sound like Richard Hunt by this time. Like, Statler sounds so folksy and country to me here.
Yeah, and I think that's
in a way that it's fine, but it's just like of all the recasts, I think Statler maybe made the least attempt, like Jerry as Statler made the least attempt to ever sound like Richard.
That might be true, yeah.
But I think here, 7 years in, he's just kind of like doing his own voice.
Yeah, and yet, for as different as these characters sound, and now Waldorf is still Dave Goelz, but now Statler has had a couple more performers. I never see people on the internet complaining about Statler or Waldorf's voices sounding wrong.
I think people don't remember what they sound like. They remember what they do. I
think that's probably right. Yeah. Because they are not on screen as much as other characters. I probably mentioned this 2 seasons ago when we were talking about Muppet Christmas Carol, but I still just think it's interesting.
Just old man voice, old man puppet.
Good
heckling.
Enough.
Yeah.
Seamless.
Yeah. Next, Pepe comes out and tells everyone the raspberry flapovers will be out in a moment. Now, Is this a name for pancakes that
Well,
exists?
I
Flapovers?
I thought he says flopovers.
Flopovers. I think it's supposed to be a play
Flop?
on
I think it's
popovers.
popovers, yeah, and
Oh,
he's saying
okay.
flopovers.
However, do
Oh,
you know what
okay.
a flopover is?
No.
Is it a hairstyle?
It is a TV glitch. So you know when you see vertical lines going up and down, like on a VHS tape, when you
Yeah.
would have problems with your TV, like that's what a flopover is. And
Really?
and
Oh.
I don't know if they knew that when they called them flopovers, or
I bet they did. Yeah, I bet that's why.
so it's
But
another like, it screams 90s VHS tape.
yes,
Sure.
it's the
Yeah.
90s. I like that Pepe is apparently working in the kitchen, which seems like a deliberate continuation of his role in the second season of Muppets Tonight, where he and Seymour ran the commissary.
Right.
They were cooking stuff.
And they made raspberry sorbet
They did,
in the
yes.
Prince episode.
That's what they
Yeah.
had, yeah.
And so finally, last thing that happens, we hear Jerry Nelson once again as Robin asks, "Hey, Uncle Kermit, what are you gonna do now that you're on?"
Now they're on Vit.
The
I guess he does say, but
Yeah.
it's just now that you're on,
Valium.
now that you're on Valium. Yes, that's
Yeah.
it. Yes.
What is he gonna do?
I don't know. Any guesses what Kermit's gonna do now that he's on very
Um,
Merry Muppet Summer Movie?
Now that he's vaping,
Now that you're vaping,
I don't know.
dude. You ever hear Big Bird and Kermit smoke weed? You just
Wow,
invented it,
that's
Ryan.
so
You
hilarious.
just invented it.
Please do not give me credit for that anywhere.
You guys remember? Do you remember on Napster you'd search for the Muppets and you would get stoned on Sesame Street?
Yes,
Big
I
Bird
do.
and Kermit smoke weed every time.
Yes, I do. The word of
never-
the day is joint.
I never downloaded it even once.
Oh, so did you never even hear it?
I've heard it.
Oh, okay. I think it was kind of inescapable
Yeah, I did not enjoy it.
for a little while. No, not
Right.
good.
Yeah. Also, somebody did a parody of Nookie by Limp Bizkit that was sung in a Cookie Monster voice called Cookie. I remember
Yeah,
that one.
I never
showing
actually
up
heard
on
that
Napster a
one.
lot.
I mean, at least the idea of Cookie Monster singing "Me Did It All for the Cookie" is there is something there.
Yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
if it's actually if it actually pays off, but
Well,
Yeah, it's not-
he has to sing that while he's pumping iron. He's doing it all. He's doing it all for the cookie.
I do it for you, cookies.
I do it for you, Cookies. All right. So that's the end of these 2 minutes. Other thoughts about the movie? Katilyn, I'll start with you.
So as I mentioned, like there's so many awesome details in this whole sequence, and I wanted to point out just a couple of them. Like, so the chickens are roosting on a chandelier that looks like a ship's steering wheel,
Oh,
just above the stairway. And so I wonder if they took that from the ship in Muppet's Treasure Island.
Oh,
so
that'd be
in
cool.
one of the drafts, there was a mention of that the outside of the house would have part of a sailing ship, just like sitting in the yard as a relic of a previous movie. So I wonder if that's kind of a nod to that. Like we're not going to put a whole ship in the yard, but here's a chandelier that looks like a
Oh, that
steering
would
wheel. Yeah,
I
yeah,
I
that's
love
cool.
that. They should have done that. And then also like Kermit's chair that he's sitting in at the breakfast table has lily pads painted on it
Oh,
and lotuses. And then the chair to his right, so of left screen, the one that Fozzie's sitting in, has little beehives on
oh.
the top of the chair.
Because he's a football enthusiast. Awesome.
Do we assume all the listeners have seen Rocky Mountain Holiday where Fozzie thinks a beehive is a football?
They all heard our classic episode covering
I hope so.
Rocky Mountain
Yeah.
Holiday. If
And
not,
if
go listen to it. It was some years ago.
and if people want to hear Anthony's delightful 70 Years, 70 Muppets episode about Fozzie, they should seek that out too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one was fun to do.
It is delightful.
Thank you. We're great. Muppets are great. Tough Fix is great.
Anthony's
Cut that
doing
out.
the scooter fist.
I'm doing the scooter fist because I'm so excited about Muppets 70 Years podcast.
Yeah.
And then Ryan, did you have other thoughts about
Uh,
these 2 minutes?
Yeah, a couple of things from the earlier Jerry Jewell screenplay drafts, which I don't know if I mentioned before. The oldest one we have is from February 27th, 1990. Yeah, February 27th, 1997. This draft by Jerry Jewell is called Star Gonzo, a movie starring Gonzo. So I don't think that ever would have been the final title, but that's kind of cute. Um, but in these drafts, it mentions Kermit taking his seat at the head of the table, and it notes that this is Dad's seat. And then it says Piggy takes her seat at the other end of the table, and that's Mom's seat, which is a
Huh.
cute little detail.
Oh, but what is the
Um,
implication there, though?
I mean, they're the mom and dad of this whole group, I guess.
And
Like
these are all
they're,
bouncing baby figs? Like what?
Yep.
figuratively.
New Zealand, famously a bouncing baby fig.
Yeah. So then I didn't write down which draft this. Actually, I did. This one is from the February 27th, 1997 draft. When Piggy appears at the breakfast table, the script says the director's credit comes up on the screen and obscures her. Like the credit for the name of the director is in front of Piggy, and she complains and turns around and comes back in again. Like she demands to have a better entrance, not blocked
Oh,
by the credit. That
that
would have
would
been
have been cute.
funny. I don't
Yeah.
think
Yes.
I think there are no opening credits in this movie, right?
Right,
Other than-
No.
just the title.
yeah. So that just wouldn't have happened.
I think it's Jim Henson Pictures
yeah.
presents
I think that's it.
Muppets from Space or whatever.
And then when Robin appears, Kermit raises his glass of orange juice and says, "Here's to the gift of another day." And then Robin says, "God bless us, everyone." And Piggy says, "Won't you ever get over that Christmas movie we made?" And Robin says, "Hey, it was my biggest part."
I think Piggy's line could use another draft, but I think that's a solid joke.
Yeah, I think so. Even just to have him say, "God bless us, everyone," and like the Muppets could just kind of look at him like, eh. And
Give it
then,
a rest, yeah.
yeah. In the February 12th, 1998 draft, Miss Piggy is also unhappy. She's still unhappy with her entrance because she doesn't get her own music cue. So in that one, she turns around and enters again, and the stage directions say there is a soaring bit of romantic underscoring, which is kind of what we get here when she comes out. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
they held on to that a little bit. And then when she leaves, she says it's because she's gotten a phone call about a new TV series. And as she runs out, Zoot says, "Wasn't she on TV last month?" And Floyd says, "It was a commercial for barbecue sauce." So the Statler Waldorf joke is better. That's an
For
improvement.
sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
definitely. Oh, I forgot to mention that as she is leaving behind Statler and Waldorf, you can hear her humming Camptown Races.
Oh, really?
Huh.
I'm not quite sure why,
Huh. I don't
but
know,
yes,
but
it's there.
that amuses me.
Is breakfast over?
But I do
Oh.
think that this is missing the final version is missing a lot of the meta humor, self-referential stuff that you're saying out loud, and I think it kind of misses that.
Yeah, and
I
I'd
would
be
like some of this.
curious whose idea was to cut all that. Like, was it Tim Hill? Like, it just got to the point where they hired him, and he said, "I'd rather make this more, I don't know, realistic or whatever."
Sitcom-y.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I have.
All right. So then, now, Katilyn, we have two questions that we're asking all of our guests this season. And the first one is, what is your history with Muppets from Space?
So, as I mentioned last movie, this was one of the ones that I didn't watch until, the pandemic when I decided that I needed all of them in physical media.
Mm.
So they're relatively recent. I've probably only seen it 2 or 3 times. I rewatched it, before recording this. And honestly, I remember watching it and not being thrilled by it, but rewatching it this time, I appreciated it more for what it was
Mhm.
and thinking about it more as a period piece, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm just like, yes, I see what they were going for. They were definitely in that moment. And like it kind of embodies that. And I can appreciate that. It's still not, it's lacking in a lot of its humor and performances, but I do think if you telling the listener at home, if you haven't watched it in a while, go back, rewatch it, and kind of just enjoy it for its 90s-ness. Now that we're beyond the moment of cringe for the 90s, we can go back and enjoy it for the 1999 of it all. You know what? The world was going
Sure.
to end in 2000, so we just had to go for it.
That's right. And then the second question is, what is your favorite science fiction movie or TV show or otherwise property, I guess?
Well, I'm going to go for the most controversial pick I possibly can and
Ooh.
say the Dark Crystal. Because it happens on
Oh,
another planet.
that's true. That
Yeah.
is, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, there's so much overlap between sci-fi and fantasy, and often, you know.
It's true. And in our line of work, you get a lot of people who say science fiction and they just mean all speculative fiction.
Hmm.
They don't actually know the difference between fantasy and sci-fi. I'm not quite sure how that's possible, but but yes.
Right. But I mean, like, also our most famous science fiction movie series is Star Wars, which is basically about
Hmm.
like knights in shining armor with laser swords.
Right. It takes place in a completely other
it's
reality.
just it's basically just a fantasy movie in space, you know?
Right.
Right. And there is people have to denote when they want hard sci-fi, meaning when they want, the numbers behind why physics works, etc. How faster than light travel actually was
Right.
achieved in this particular fiction, etc. But I'm a fan of Doctor Who, which also has some more fantastical elements that, the sonic screwdriver is just a magic wand.
It sure
Yeah.
is. Yeah. So the Dark Crystal though, why?
I just love it because it goes for it. If planets can literally have anything, why not just make them as bonkers as possible? Yes, obviously with Star Wars and things, it's going to take up a lot of makeup and prosthetics to do all of those things. So it's pretty fantastic that they actually were like, you know what? We are making a literal other planet with its own flora and fauna and history. And it's just like world building is my jam. And so just imagining that and seeing it represented, it's more of an art exhibit on film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
absolutely.
For
a
all those
technology
people.
showcase.
Yes, more so than, a coherent story with a plot that you can follow from
Yeah.
beginning to end.
Right. Awesome. Well, the great answer. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for joining us. Always a delight to have you on the show.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks
Eh,
for having me. I would issue a challenge to all of your guests who come from here on out to make as many 90s references and mouse puns as they possibly can.
Awesome.
Good.
That's great. That's like my favorite sitcom, Full Mouse, in which
Yes.
Oh.
three dad mice have to raise the entire litter. Well, I don't know. But
No, that's great. That show mostly aired in the 90s, so
it
It's
did.
true.
got
The
it.
And
majority of the eps, yeah.
now I'm trying to do some Michelle, it's not
Mies-
working. Cut that.
Michelle, yeah. Yeah, there's just I don't know. There's not that many mouse related puns. You can't do it like
You just wait until
we'll see. Future guests, prove me on. Yeah. By all
Uncle
means.
Jesse Ratsopoulos.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Love it. Love it. All right. Joey Ratstone. That's it for today. Listeners, you can, until our next episode, you can check out toughpigs.com on the internet, Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram. We're all over the place. You can become a patron of ours on Patreon. We would love that. You can email us at movingrightalong@toughpigs.com with all of your burning thoughts about mouse-related puns. You can follow Ryan on Blue Sky at me, Ryan Rowe. And you can follow me on Blue Sky at Durwood Clapper. You can follow Ryan on Letterboxd at Movies Are Neat, and me on Letterboxd at Zeppo Marxist. Katilyn, where can our guests find you or your work on the internet?
The best place to find me is on the Tough Pigs Discord, of which I am a moderator. So come discuss this Moving Right Along podcast, any of the other podcasts, any other Muppet news that might have popped up. We're there. We're talking about it. We're making mouse puns, or at least we
And-
are now.
And we should say you are an excellent moderator over there, and we
Yeah, you
are
do such a great job.
Yes, very grateful to have you doing that.
We are blessed that we do not need much moderation. Please do not ruin that. Just come be a nice Muppet fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So thank you again. Thank you as well to Jordan Brandon for writing our theme music and Morgan Davy for designing our logo. And thank you to you, listener, for giving us a positive review wherever you are able. And thank you as well for telling all of your friends to listen to Moving Right Along. We'll be back next time, next week, in fact, with another episode. Goodbye.
Zig zag ha.
Get down with your bad self.
What if Agra met Tacky the Penguin?
Whoa.
Yes, and then they swapped wardrobes. And
That
then
would be
Agra
awesome.
went away.
That would be so good. Tacky sliding around the Ori, Ah.
Yes!
Oh, that'd be so good.
And then when he
Ah,
pops out
okay.
of the bag in front of the Skeksis, he's like, "What's happening?"
Happening! And then he gives him a hearty slap on the back.
All right, so that'll go after the theme song.